Welcome back. Retail sales out today showed that 12 months of growth has been happening despite the threat of the internet. So what is the future of online retail? Let's talk to a professional online store builder, Gerrard Giummarra, Director of IBSA, IBSA. Thanks for joining us, Gerrard.
Thank you, Peter.
IBSA or IBSA?
IBSA, IBSA, whatever.
Okay, right, yeah. Let's just try and position you in terms of your history in the online space.
Yeah.
Now, I remember you with Property Seeker, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. So when did that start?
That started about 20 years ago.
Right.
And
was it hard getting people interested in such a great concept 20 years ago?
Peter, I thought, why did I get into this? Because it took about 2 years to develop.
Yeah.
That was the Property Seeker system, which was a computer-based system, which then went onto an internet-based system. So it took 2 years to develop. Thereafter, it took us a year to get into the market. When we got into the market and we got our first real estate chain, they locked us in for 12 months exclusive. Right. So we were basically out of the market for 2 years.
Okay, right.
But just as well, because at that time the internet was still, bubbling up, and it gave us a chance to...
The .com bust was around there as well, wasn't it?
Well, there was all sorts of busts, and .com was one of them. Well, not quite. The .com bust came in the late 90s, or early 2000, we were in the marketplace way before that. I think we got online at, I think it was 1995 we first got online. Right. Which nobody knew what the online game was then.
No, that's right. And then it's ended up in REA, is that right?
Thereafter, that was past my time. The real estate propertyseeker.com.au became realestate.com.au after a merger which I did with two brilliant online gurus. And they just happened to have the URL realestate.com.au, so I thought that's a bonus.
That's for sure. Yeah. Okay, so what does IBSA do?
IBSA is predominantly an online retail specialist. So what we operate our own stores with multiple categories within the marketplace. We also get into joint ventures with those that are not so internet retail savvy. So they'll come to us, and we obviously have the technology, we have the expertise in the marketplace, we have the understanding how the market works, and therefore it becomes a great marriage.
Are you finding that there might be a great bricks and mortar brand and they know that they have to get into the online, and they're saying to you, let's work together?
Absolutely, absolutely. And look, some have done. We've done some great things with some large retailers that were having some problems getting into the internet. They certainly tried it. They failed. They came to us. We made it work, and so on and so on. Bricks and mortars, the large bricks and mortars, they've got their own difficulties in entering the market. The bricks and mortar stores have been basically have a model that's been for years on, years on. Now transacting to the online space is a different model altogether, because now they start competing against, on the world market. So the internet is a place where choice and, price comparison and so forth. So I think some of the larger guys are having some issues transacting online.
Do they have to actually bite the bullet and charge pretty well the same price online as they do in store? Well, a little margin for the experience of in store.
Look, Peter, I had so many discussions with large chain operators and so forth, and the answer to that is yes. What you sell in the store needs to be the same price, because the two of them are a marriage. The online component complements the stores, and the stores complement the online. That's the way it works once you start looking into that space. Where some of the larger players have got a problem is that their price points need to be looked at, because certainly right now you can buy a pair of jeans from around the world at half the price that you can buy it within Australia. The question is, why?
Is there a company that you can talk about that a lot of my viewers would know that you've actually worked with, and maybe talk through the kinds of bridges you had to walk them across to get in the sweet spot they're in now?
I can't specifically name companies, but I have consulted for a number of companies, and I've been guest speaker with the likes of ComSec during some of their meetings with some of their investors and so forth.
Yeah.
And pretty much, look, in general, I would say that I have consulted directly with these, but I have consulted with people that are connected to these large players. And look, some of them, you know, are quite well-known brands. I mean, some of the largest retail operations in Australia. You know, those guys just came to the market a little too late. I felt that they've resisted the internet, pretty much the same as what I experienced, you know, 20 years ago with the real estate industry, resisting, you know, the property seeker and realestate.com. But, you know, people have got to realise that the internet, people want the internet, people need the internet. The internet is in people's everyday lives. So these guys have just got to jump on.
I know when I was in the USA, I was quite impressed that Bloomingdale's seemed to both nail the in-store experience and the website experience.
Yep.
Have the American retailers done it miles better than the Australian rivals?
Absolutely. They've been ahead. They've understood that the internet is a growing industry. People want to shop on the internet. They need to comply. They need to provide services. People are expecting chains like Bloomingdale's to have a high-grade, high-level online presence. But they've been able to marriage the two together.
Okay. The reason why I asked the question is that the Americans do have a competitive advantage. Hourly wage rates are appreciably lower. Is this also a challenge for our businesses, that, you know, the people who are going to deliver, the people who are doing the call centre stuff, they're all going to be on a per hourly basis more expensive? But as you pointed out, David Jones is competing with Bloomingdale's.
Well, you know, and that's why I said, Plea, that people or the large chains need to remodel their business. First of all, I mean, if you look at the difference in wages and so forth, yes, there is a little bit of difference, but there isn't that much difference. I mean, why is something worth twice as much than what you can pay in America? Sure, maybe 20% more, whatever. I think that, you know, the Australian public would accept that, but not when it's double and triple the price. But, you know, if you look at our own online stores, for instance, we've got the same competition as well, but we've modelled ourselves to be competitive on an international market.
So what is one of the stores that you
Well, let's say take probably the one that I like the best is, well, no, I like them all the best, but fantasylingerie.com.au is Australia's...
Typical.
Well...
A guy with a Latin name like yours.
What can I say?
Typical.
What can I say?
Well, you can get a what? No.
Well, it's good for us guys as well.
Yeah.
But fantasylingerie.com.au is Australia's largest lingerie, intimate apparel store. And look, we've got some major competition worldwide. But what we've had to do is we've had to put our heads together and say, right, okay, what price are we going to buy this product for? What price are we going to put it out to market? How cheaply can we land it in the country? So on and so on. So we've had to remodel or model ourselves to compete on an international market.
Gerrard, if people want to know more, you can go to ibsa.com.au.
.com.au, that's right.
Mate, thanks for joining us on the program.
Terrific. Thanks, Peter.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Now, imagine 15 years